If you are over 60 and you have been feeling like something has changed down there, like the vitality and strength you once took for granted has quietly started to fade, I want you to listen closely because what I am about to share with you might surprise you. It is not just about getting older, it is not inevitable, and it certainly is not something you have to accept as your new normal. My name is Dr. Jonathan Reed, and I have been helping men over 60 reclaim their confidence and vitality for more than 15 years. As a vascular specialist, I have seen thousands of men walk into my office feeling defeated, embarrassed, and convinced that their best days are behind them. But here is what I have learned. In the vast majority of cases, the problem is not what you think it is. It is not your age. It is not your genetics. It is not even your overall health. It is one simple morning habit that is quietly strangling your circulation and robbing you of the strength and confidence you deserve. This habit is so common, so seemingly innocent, that most men do not even realize they are doing it. Yet it is silently damaging the delicate network of blood vessels that keep everything working properly down there. And the worst part is, the longer you continue this habit, the more permanent the damage becomes. But here's the good news. Once you understand what this habit is and why it is so destructive, you can start reversing the damage today. You can begin to restore the healthy blood flow that makes you feel like yourself again. Now, I know some of you might be thinking this sounds too simple. How could one morning habit really make that much difference? But let me tell you something I have learned after years of treating men just like you. The human body is incredibly interconnected. What you do first thing in the morning sets the tone for your entire circulatory system for the rest of the day. And when that system is compromised, everything else suffers. You see, healthy circulation is not just about your heart pumping blood. It is about thousands of tiny blood vessels, smaller than a human hair, working together to deliver oxygen and nutrients to every part of your body. These vessels are particularly delicate in the pelvic region, where even small changes in blood flow can have dramatic effects on your strength, your confidence, and your overall quality of life. Most men think that problems in this area are just part of aging. They assume that once you hit 60, things naturally start to decline. But that is simply not true. I have patients in their 70s and 80s who have better circulation and more vitality than men half their age. The difference is not genetics or luck, it is the daily habits that either support healthy blood flow or slowly destroy it. And this particular morning habit that I'm going to tell you about is one of the most destructive things you can do to your circulation. It creates a cascade of problems that starts the moment you wake up and continues throughout your entire day. It damages the inner lining of your blood vessels, increases inflammation, and gradually reduces the amount of blood that can reach the areas where you need it most. But before I tell you what this habit is, let me explain why morning habits are so critical for men over 60. When you wake up in the morning, your body is coming out of a long period of rest and repair. Your blood pressure is naturally lower, your blood vessels are more relaxed, and your circulation is at its most vulnerable state. This is actually a good thing, because it gives your vascular system a chance to reset and prepare for the day ahead. However, if you do something that shocks or stresses your circulatory system during this delicate morning period, you can cause damage that lasts all day long. Your blood vessels will constrict, inflammation will increase, and the healthy blood flow that keeps you feeling strong and confident will be compromised from the very start. Now, I want to be clear about something. This is not about dramatic lifestyle changes or complicated medical treatments. This is about one simple thing that millions of men do every single morning without thinking twice about it. And once you stop doing it, you will be amazed at how quickly your body begins to respond. I have seen men who were convinced they needed medication or surgery start feeling like themselves again within just a few weeks of making this one change. I have watched marriages improve, confidence return, and men rediscover the energy and vitality they thought was gone forever. All because they stopped doing one thing that was quietly sabotaging their circulation every single morning. The reason this habit is so dangerous is that it happens at the worst possible time. Your morning routine sets the foundation for everything that follows. If you start your day by damaging your circulation, that damage compounds throughout the day. Your blood vessels stay constricted, your blood pressure remains elevated, and the delicate network that supplies blood to your pelvic region never gets a chance to recover. But here's what happens when you eliminate this habit. Within the first few days, you will notice that you feel more relaxed in the morning. Your body will not be fighting against the stress and inflammation that this habit creates. Within the first week, you will start to see improvements in your energy levels and overall sense of well-being. And within the first month, you will begin to notice changes in the areas that matter most to you as a man. This is not about quick fixes or temporary solutions. This is about understanding how your body actually works and giving it what it needs to function at its best. When you support healthy circulation, everything else falls into place naturally. Your energy improves, your confidence returns, and you start feeling like the man you have always been, regardless of your age. I know this might sound too good to be true. You might be thinking that if it was really this simple, everyone would know about it. But the truth is, most doctors are not trained to think about circulation in this way. They are taught to treat symptoms with medications or procedures, not to identify and eliminate the root causes of circulatory problems. As a vascular specialist, I have had the privilege of studying blood flow in ways that most physicians never do. I have seen how small changes in daily habits can have profound effects on circulation. And I have learned that the body has an incredible ability to heal itself when we stop doing the things that are causing damage. The morning habit I'm going to reveal to you is something that affects millions of men over 60. It is so common that it has become normalized in our society. But just because something is common does not mean it is healthy. And just because you have been doing it for years does not mean you have to continue. Your circulation can improve at any age. Your blood vessels can become healthier and more flexible. And the strength and confidence you remember from your younger years can return. But it starts with understanding what is quietly working against you every single morning and making the simple change that will set your circulation up for success instead of failure. In the next part of this video, I am going to tell you exactly what this morning habit is, why it is so damaging to your circulation, and what you can do instead to support healthy blood flow throughout your entire day. You will learn the science behind why this habit is so destructive, and you will discover the simple alternative that can help restore the vitality and confidence you deserve. So what is this morning habit that is quietly destroying your circulation and robbing you of your masculine vitality? It is something so routine, so automatic, that you probably do it without even thinking. And that habit is drinking ice-cold water first thing in the morning. Now, I know what you are thinking. Cold water? Really? How could something as simple as drinking cold water be damaging my circulation? But let me explain exactly what happens inside your body when you shock your system with ice-cold liquid the moment you wake up. When you sleep, your body temperature naturally drops and your blood vessels relax and dilate. This is part of your body's natural recovery process. Your circulation slows down, your blood pressure decreases, and your entire vascular system enters a state of rest and repair. This is exactly what should happen during sleep, and it sets you up for optimal circulation when you wake up. But here is where the problem begins. The moment you drink something ice cold first thing in the morning, you are sending a massive shockwave through your entire circulatory system. Your body perceives this sudden temperature drop as a threat, and it responds by immediately constricting your blood vessels to preserve core body temperature. This is called vasoconstriction, and it is your body's natural survival mechanism. Now, this might not sound like a big deal, but let me tell you what is really happening inside your body. When your blood vessels constrict suddenly like this, especially in the delicate pelvic region, it creates a chain reaction that affects your circulation for hours. The smaller blood vessels, the ones responsible for delivering blood to the areas where you need it most, become restricted and inflamed. Think of it like this. Imagine you have a garden hose that is flowing freely, delivering water exactly where it needs to go. Now imagine someone suddenly squeezes that hose tight. The water can still flow, but it is restricted, pressurized, and fighting against the constriction. That is exactly what happens to your blood vessels when you shock them with ice-cold water first thing in the morning. But the damage does not stop there. This sudden vasoconstriction also triggers the release of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones are designed to help you deal with emergencies, but when they are released every single morning, they create chronic inflammation throughout your vascular system. And chronic inflammation is one of the primary causes of circulatory problems in men over 60. You see, inflammation damages the inner lining of your blood vessels called the endothelium. This lining is incredibly important for healthy circulation because it produces nitric oxide, a molecule that helps your blood vessels relax and dilate. When the endothelium is damaged by chronic inflammation, it cannot produce nitric oxide effectively, and your blood vessels lose their ability to open up and allow proper blood flow. This is why so many men who drink ice-cold water every morning gradually develop circulation problems over time. They are unknowingly creating inflammation and damaging their blood vessels every single day, first thing in the morning, when their circulatory system is at its most vulnerable. I have had patients tell me they have been drinking ice-cold water for decades without any problems. But here is what they do not realize. The damage is cumulative. It builds up over time, slowly and silently, until one day you wake up and realize that things are not working the way they used to. By then, years of daily vascular damage have taken their toll. The reason this habit is particularly damaging for men over 60 is that our blood vessels naturally become less flexible as we age. The smooth muscle in the vessel walls becomes stiffer, and our ability to produce nitric oxide decreases. When you add the daily shock of ice-cold water to these natural age-related changes, you are accelerating the decline of your circulatory system. But it gets worse. Many men compound this problem by drinking their ice-cold water on an empty stomach. When your stomach is empty and you introduce something ice-cold, it creates even more of a shock to your system. Your body has to work harder to warm up the liquid, which requires more energy and creates more stress on your circulation. I have also noticed that men who drink ice, cold water first thing in the morning often experience what I call morning circulation lag. This is when your blood flow takes longer to normalize after waking up. Instead of your circulation gradually improving as you start your day, it stays restricted and compromised for hours because of that initial cold shock. This morning circulation lag affects everything. Your energy levels remain low because your tissues are not getting optimal blood flow. Your mental clarity suffers because your brain is not receiving the oxygen-rich blood it needs. And most importantly, for many of my patients, the blood flow to your pelvic region remains compromised, affecting your confidence and vitality as a man. The tragedy is that most men have no idea this is happening. They drink their ice-cold water, feel a brief moment of alertness from the shock, and assume they are doing something healthy. Meanwhile, their circulation is being systematically damaged every single morning, setting them up for problems that may not become obvious for months or years. I remember one patient, Robert, who came to see me because he was experiencing significant circulation issues. He was 64 years old, otherwise healthy, but struggling with problems that were affecting his relationship and his confidence. During our consultation, I learned that he had been drinking a large glass of ice water with lemon every morning for over 20 years. He thought he was being healthy, staying hydrated, and getting his metabolism going. When I explained to Robert what was really happening to his circulation every morning, he was shocked. He had never connected his morning routine to his circulation problems, but he was willing to make a change, and the results were remarkable. Within 3 weeks of switching to room temperature water in the morning, he started noticing improvements. Within 2 months, he felt like a different man. Robert's story is not unique. I have seen this pattern over and over again. Men who have been unknowingly damaging their circulation with ice-cold water every morning, and then experiencing dramatic improvements once they make this simple change. The good news is that your blood vessels have an incredible ability to heal and recover when you stop subjecting them to daily cold shock. The endothelium can repair itself, inflammation can decrease, and your natural ability to produce nitric oxide can improve. But it all starts with eliminating this one destructive morning habit. Now, you might be wondering what you should drink instead. The answer is simple: room temperature or slightly warm water. This supports your circulation instead of shocking it. It allows your blood vessels to gradually wake up and start functioning optimally without the stress and inflammation caused by extreme temperature changes. When you drink room temperature water first thing in the morning, you are working with your body instead of against it. Your blood vessels can gradually adjust to being awake and active without the sudden shock that causes constriction and inflammation. This gentle approach allows your circulation to flow naturally and supports the healthy blood flow you need to feel strong and confident throughout the day. But let me take this one step further and give you the optimal morning hydration routine that I recommend to all my patients over 60. Instead of reaching for that ice cold glass of water, start your day with room temperature water that has been sitting out overnight. This water is at the perfect temperature to support your circulation without causing any vascular shock. If you want to add something to your water, consider a small slice of fresh lemon or a pinch of high-quality sea salt. These additions can actually support your circulation by providing minerals that help your blood vessels function properly. But avoid anything cold, anything with caffeine, and anything with artificial ingredients that can create additional stress on your system. The timing matters too. Do not gulp down a large amount of water all at once. Instead, sip slowly and mindfully for the first 10 to 15 minutes after you wake up. This gives your body time to gradually adjust and allows your circulation to wake up naturally without any sudden demands or shocks. I also recommend that you pay attention to how your body feels during this transition. Many of my patients tell me that within just a few days of making this change, they notice they feel more relaxed in the morning. Their bodies are not fighting against the stress of cold shock, and their energy levels start to improve naturally. Within the first week, most men report feeling more alert and focused without that artificial jolt that ice-cold water provides. This is because their circulation is functioning more efficiently, delivering oxygen and nutrients to their brain and other vital organs more effectively. And here is the most important part. Within the first month of making this simple change, the majority of my patients start noticing improvements in the areas that matter most to them as men. Their circulation begins to normalize, the chronic inflammation starts to decrease, and their blood vessels begin to function more like they did when they were younger. I want to be clear about something important. This is not a magic cure, and results may vary from person to person. But what I can tell you is that eliminating this one destructive morning habit removes a major source of daily vascular damage. When you stop shocking your circulation every morning, you give your body the chance to heal and recover naturally. The science behind this is solid. When you eliminate chronic inflammation and support healthy blood flow, everything in your body works better. Your energy improves, your mental clarity increases, and yes, your confidence and vitality as a man can return to levels you may not have experienced in years. I have been sharing this information with my patients for over a decade, and the results continue to amaze me. Men who thought their problems were permanent, who had accepted that decline was inevitable, have discovered that their bodies are far more resilient and capable of healing than they ever imagined. Your circulation does not have to get worse with age. Your confidence and vitality do not have to fade, and the strength you remember from your younger years is not gone forever. Sometimes the most powerful changes come from the simplest adjustments to your daily routine. So tomorrow morning when you wake up, I want you to try something different. Instead of reaching for that ice-cold water, pour yourself a glass of room temperature water. Sip it slowly and mindfully. Pay attention to how your body feels. Notice the difference in your energy and alertness throughout the day. This one small change could be the beginning of getting your life back, the beginning of feeling like yourself again, the beginning of rediscovering the confidence and vitality that you deserve, regardless of your age. Thank you for watching, and remember, your best years are not behind you. They are waiting for you to make the simple changes that support your body's natural ability to heal and thrive. If this information has been helpful, please share it with other men who might benefit from understanding how their morning habits affect their circulation and their lives.